Buddy, welcome on this somewhat chilly, somewhat gray day. It may match the moods of some of you, but we are here in community. And as Reverend Rosalind says, in community, we're all here to walk each other home. Today, it's faith in the face of uncertainty, because we certainly have, well, as the Chinese say, it's a curse. May you live in interesting times. So we do. We live in interesting times. We'll start with a mood enhancer, our opening song, Bobby McFerrin. Don't worry, be happy.
I want to sing a note for note.
Don't worry, be happy.
Every night we have some trouble. When you worry, you make it down. But don't worry. Be happy.
Ooh, Annie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 19, 20, 22.
In happiness, lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry. Be happy. Landlord say your rent is late. They have to let it pay. Don't worry.
Be happy.
Be happy. Be happy. That she got no style, ain't got no gal to make it smile. Don't worry. When nobody is around, then the thing get back down. So don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy.
Oh,
Don't worry. Be happy. This matter. Don't really. Don't worry. What's going to happen? Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy.
ah. Well, here we are, gathered in a time when nationally and internationally, there's a lot of strife and war. But instead of just sitting back and cursing the darkness, who among us would like to light our peace candle? George. All right. Takes a village.
Good to be here. Good to see you all. Hope you all have a good day.
Oh, you want me to hold it for you? All right.
It's good to be here today and good to see everyone and hope you all have a good day and a good week.
So what's your stance on peace, for or against?
Short version and a long version.
Whichever version
I
you
like peace.
unburden your heart.
Is this?
Yes. There we go. As you can see, lighting the peace candle, like peace itself, takes persistence. All right. Now, one of my favorite traditions where we slightly embarrass newcomers by asking them to stand and introduce themselves to the rest of us, if you would.
I'm Lisa Bergson. I came here back in the late '80s. It's been that long. But my friend just suffered a major loss and was looking for some spiritual solace. And he's from out of town, but I just thought we would come here.
I'm Ken Coleman. My wife of 40 years recently died of cancer. Very happy marriage. Big loss to me. And just looking for support in any way I can get it.
Good man. Jerry Riddle, I'm here with Ken and my wife Lisa. We knew Danielle very long and she was one of the kindest, nicest people I've ever met. I think about her a lot since her passing, because I like to do this a little bit more.
Well, welcome home. Thanks for coming. Community is what we turn to in times like that. Are there any announcements?
I just want to let everybody know that our boiler is not working at the moment, and that's why it was probably a little cold when we first got here. We're relying on the heat exchangers. We are in the process of getting thermostats put on all these heat exchangers so that we can control them beforehand, and our boilers are going to be replaced December 7th.
Thank you.
Let's have a hand for Alan for everything he does for us. The man was setting up here, then he was out there pushing a wheelbarrow, tending to the lawns. Then he was up on a ladder, changing the clock's battery. I mean, we'd have to invent you if you didn't exist now. Birthdays, birthday girls. Who has a birthday? Nancy. Yeah, well, it's close enough. Anybody else have a birthday anybody else have a birthday this year? Let's raise your hand.
That's that. Might as well raise it.
Yes. Happy birthday, we love you. Happy birthday, and may all your dreams come true. When you blow out the candle, one light stays aglow. It's the love light in your eyes where you go. All right. And now, one of the things we take care to do every week is to send our prayers and intentions to those in our community and their friends who need it, the healing prayers. Together we pray for all people in all countries who are at war, and for all refugees and displaced people because of war. We pray for Tom Legier, who had open heart surgery on Halloween, for Julian Gretchen Alpeth, for Rosalind's friend Doug Pritchard in intensive care in Rochester, New York, and his sister, Marilyn. Together we pray for Diana Young and her family, especially her mother, Betty, who is recovering from open heart surgery, for Sue Beiser, for Maria Starr, for Janet Berkowitz, for Elisa Davidson, for Chris LaRue and Beverly LaRue, for Nancy Hesh and her relationship with her sister, Susan. Together we pray for Tina Mekas, for my friends Diane Bynum and Kelly Benson, and my cousin, Louise Riney. For Annie Marins. Hi, Annie. For Norm Danis, for Dave Nussel, for Chris Coolish and her father, Tony, at the tender age of 101. For Moose, our poet laureate. For Jen Watts, for Wanda Canfield, for Marilyn Stauffer, for the entire Ferraro family, and for Jen Ferraro's friend, Larry Hackett, for continued prayers and blessings for LaToya Russell and her daughter, Ayanna. Together we pray for Barbara Atkinson's daughter, L'Oreal, and for L'Oreal's sister, Genesis, and Barbara's brother-in-law, Ed, for Chloe Eisman and her son, Joe Eisman, and their relationship, for Judy Henderson, and for Suzanne Wolf. Now, please name anyone you would like to include in our prayers. Angel, oh. Kamala, yeah. Thank you. We ask that there be an end to war and hunger in our world, and that we may all work to lessen the suffering in this world. May the earth, may Mother Gaia and all her life forms be cherished and allowed to thrive, and may the good that surrounds us all be magnified. Never forget that there is good that surrounds us all. And now you're invited to name a loved one or friend who passed this week, or if this is the anniversary of their passing. Oh my God. Oh.
My sister had a birthday was this week. She was 42, a couple decades back. Just having around school, fifth of her, she's a singer-songwriter, spiritual songs, performed in Nocturnal Theater. The music still resounds.
It is so often that the good die young. Don't know why that is, but I think generally they're old souls, maybe, and their time on this planet is done to get off the karmic wheel.
We're all here and we accomplish our purpose.
Thank you, Ken. And now join me in an Om. Oh. I'm eager to lead you on a journey. So I would ask you all to center yourself, quiet yourself, and open your hearts and every chakra. Close your eyes if you wish. I'm going to take you on a journey with you and all of your close friends and family. We're on a meandering path, going slowly upwards, back and forth. It's a beautiful spring day, and you can feel the freshness of the air as it take it into your lungs. It's rejuvenating. Fall has passed, winter has passed. It's spring, a time of rejuvenation. As we walk up the path, we think about the journey that we are on, where this life is nothing if it is not a journey. At the top of the path, we come to a mesa, and you and your friends and your family, we all walk across the mesa, feeling the sun glinting down on us, and we come to the edge of the mesa. Below us is a very steep cliff with a rocky, treacherous path down, 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 down to a wide, ranging river. It's an angry river. It is trying to carry anger out to the sea. And it's wide, and from this cliff, from the edge of this cliff, it is uncertain how we will traverse this, but from the edge of the cliff, if you look beyond this angry river, as far as you can see are peaceful, verdant fields, regenerative agriculture, solar power, peace and serenity, people in harmony. That's our destination. How we get there, that's up to each of us and together to think about it. So as you stand on the edge of this cliff, feel the joy of knowing that on the other side of this angry river and this treacherous path down to the river is eternal peace and harmony. Take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. As you stand there, take another deep breath in. And again, slowly exhale so that you feel in rhythm with the paradise that you see beyond the river. Feel it. Know that you and everyone dear to you will get there, even if you don't know how right now. Because we have Mr. Bill Metler here, who's going to give us some suggestions quite shortly on how. All right, now you can slowly open your eyes and come back to our community, where we try as best as we can to model the future that we want. Oh, my goodness, thank you. Not only is Bill here to lend credibility, but he has reminded me that we all participate in the beautiful words of our Pebble Hill Credo, inscribed on the words on the wall behind me. We live a life by love transformed, by spirit empowered, by imagination guided, in peace with all. So beautiful. You know, often I can come into this room with no one here, and I can feel the half-century plus of vibrations, of good vibrations, of all the people that have been here, contributed here, and it brings joy to my heart. There is a peace here, and has been reminded by others. The Lenape, whose land this was, surround us. They are not gone, they're here in spirit, and they protect us, and they remind us to be one with Gaia, not to dominate it, not to fight it, not to despoil it, and to be grateful for the earth. And now it is my extreme pleasure to turn the mic over to Mr. Bill Metler.
Gorgeous. Does anybody know the name of the Debussy music that was,
I don't know what it was, but it
was
was typical
perfect.
WC.
yeah, it was so lovely.
I use him every morning.
Very good. So one of the wisest rulers who we have not chosen, but was in history, was King Solomon. King Solomon is storied for his wisdom. But what most people don't know is that the secret to his wise decisions was a 13-year-old girl who was his unofficial advisor. There were other advisors, of course, all old men of my vintage who were looking for accolades and for their wisdom. And it kind of grounded, they kind of were gnashing their teeth privately that this 13-year-old girl seemed to come up with such
wonderful solutions.
Oh, whoops.
Her
is
secret
it?
was that
Leave. I have to leave.
she had many friends, and they didn't look like her. They were from different tribes, different walks of life, different ages, different sensibilities. She seemed to effortlessly gather in these friends because she regarded everyone with the eyes of compassion. So these 8 men who were the advisors, the more success the 13-year-old girl had with Solomon and his decisions, the more envious they grew. We've got to get our own here, they would say to one another. This girl is outshining us. It's embarrassing. I tell you what, let's invent an impossible mission for her. So they thought of this mythical ring. They didn't describe it as mythical. They described it to Solomon casually as that they had heard about this ring, this powerful ring that was so powerful, it could make a happy man sad and a sad man happy. Worked on women too, they said. They were before their time on this observation. That caught the imagination of the king. He thought, wow, what a great tool to have in my decisions for this kingdom, to have a ring that can turn a happy person sad and a sad person happy. I would love to have this ring for our kingdom. So he asked the little girl, as the 8 advisors hoped that he would, to go find this ring, to come up with this ring and use her network to manifest it. So the girl took on the mission. She wanted to honor her king with this ring, which he so deeply desired. So she went into the souk, the marketplace, the colorful stalls in the midst of Jerusalem, where people were making and selling wares, bartering and trading back and forth. The rugs hung from the rafters, and the frankincense and the various potions were being sold. And she had a friend who was a tinkerer. He made embellishments out of brass. That is, lanterns and bracelets and necklaces, and yes, rings. And she figured that if such a ring existed, perhaps he, working with rings during his life, would have heard about this, but he hadn't. She asked all the other hucksters in the souk as they were bartering away, and she would approach them and ask them about the ring. Had they heard about it? She even went to the camel caravan drivers and said, as you go across the desert, as you go from city to city, inquire about this ring, bring it back, because I've promised King Solomon that I will have this ring for him by the harvest festival, which is 3 months hence. The crops were growing vitally in the fields, and there was great promise in the land for this harvest coming up. So the festival would be quite an astounding event. She even took a trip to Haifa, to the harbor, and talked to the sea captains before they left across the Mediterranean to please take notice. Ask your merchants, ask your other sea captains about this ring. Has anybody heard about it? Because Solomon will offer a king's fortune for this ring, it being so powerful. The months pass, and she continued her questions of everyone, even the most unlikely people that were shut in their homes, or people that never traveled, people that were not especially learned. She asked everyone, paid everyone the respect of perhaps they would know. The months went by, and it was time for the harvest festival. The 8 men were relishing the moment when this girl would have to admit defeat finally to her king. She was worried, so all this time there had been no hint of where this ring might be. And on the eve of the festival, she went into the souk to talk to her friend, her confidant, the tinkerer. She said that she was bereft because for the first time she would fail King Solomon and not be able to provide this object that he wanted so badly. He commiserated with her, and they talked back and forth about rising and falling fortunes, and how things looked so rosy for the kingdom because the harvest had been record-breaking. There were storehouses of wheat and fruits and food that had been gathered in, and the city of Jerusalem was guaranteed to have a prosperous winter as a result. And the harvest festival had great preparations going. You could see the costuming and the music that was being rehearsed for it. And as the sun came up, the girl was still in the souk, commiserating with her friend. And she dejectedly left to join the parade out in the streets on their way to the palace. When the girl left the souk, her friend was thinking about their nights-long talk and confidence swapping. And he took a simple brass ring, and he took his engraving tool and made a small inscription on the inside of that ring. When he finished, he put the ring in his fist, and he ran out of the souk and went through the crowds trying to get through to where the girl was walking along. Finally, he skirted along the edge of the throng and past all the musicians and the dancers, and there the girl was in another pack of crowded people on their way to the palace. He came up to her and embraced her, put the ring in her hand. Sadly, she opened up her hand and she looked at the inscription. She was immediately happy. This was the ring. She bound up the stairs into the palace and sat at her place at the head table, at the head of the harvest banquet. She was there at the left-hand side of Solomon, but 8 places back at the last of the male judges, the advisors, all of whom were relishing the moment. The girl was very happy. She tapped the shoulder of the next advisor, 8 of them sitting in a row, then Solomon in the middle of the table, then other officials on the other side of Solomon. So this ring, she wanted it to be passed along the judges up to King Solomon so he could look at it and see that it was indeed this powerful ring that could make a happy person sad and a sad person happy. So the first advisor took the ring from the girl and happened to look at the inscription, and immediately his glee turned to sadness because he'd been foiled. This was the ring. And he passed it to the next gleeful advisor, who likewise read the ring and passed it on. His whole mood had shifted to being cross and sad. If you were at this banquet, you were sitting at a table and you saw what was happening up at the head table, you could watch the progress of this ring go through the 8 judges, each one taking the ring, going from happy to sad, passing it along. Finally, it reached Solomon. Solomon looked at the ring. He saw the inscription. He put the ring on, and he was happy because the ring was his. And that inscription read, "And this too shall pass." So this is a ring for the election and the leadership that we are stuck with for 4 years. And I think that the young girl in this story has the secret for us as to the best thing we can do is build community, is to make our own community resilient and happy and supported, just as she did to gather all of these friends in great diversity. She regarded each person in the community of all of Jerusalem with the eyes of compassion. There were myriad people of a myriad different orientations and philosophies and personalities in her great gathering of friends, because she regarded them with all compassion. They felt included and they felt welcomed. Here in our own community, we can practice that with one another and then spread it on beyond into our own communities from where we live. Regardless of political orientation, we embrace and we persevere to offer finer values in the future. All right. Thich Nhat Hanh had a prayer he was given. I've mentioned it before to our community here. He was given this prayer by his teacher when he decided to become a monk. At 16 years of age in Hue, Vietnam, he went into the monastery and his teacher said, "You're here. I want you to say this prayer every morning for the rest of your life." And the prayer went like this: I wake up in the morning with a smile. I have 24 brand new hours in front of me. I vow to live each moment fully and regard each being that I cross with the eyes of compassion. Well, Thich Nhat Hanh was able to address the state of the earth. He has gone on to inspire and found at least 15 monasteries around the world and 1,000 monks and nuns. And these monasteries are centers where people go to learn about sustainability. They go there to learn about compassion. And he has this meditation that I'd like to share with you all, to ask you to participate in. It is a meditation where you sort of turn the whole thing over to Mother Earth. You just relax in your chair. This is a beautiful, non-striving meditation. So relax in your chair and get comfortable, and don't scan your body to see if you've got any strain or thing you're fighting in that in your body, in that part, and just relax that part. The point of this relaxation is that it's a beautiful way to heal. Now, close your eyes and make sure you're not striving for the perfect posture. Make sure that you're just relaxing. You're sitting there, and then Mother Earth can take over. She will breathe for you. So when you take in a breath, you are allowing that breath to come in and allowing it to go out. You're not breathing, you're allowing the earth to breathe for you. It's like a baby in the womb does not have to worry about breathing, doesn't have to worry about eating or sleeping or any of the functions that we have to take responsibility for. That Mother Earth, in this case, is breathing for us. So you're allowing the breath to come in and allowing the breath to go out. You have to make no effort. The earth is not only around us, the earth is in us. We are the earth. We're made of the same 12 flavors of atoms that the earth's crust is made of. 70% of the earth's surface is covered with salt water. We are 70% water in ourselves, and when we cry the ocean, salty tears. The earth is very patient. It can spend 10 million years healing itself. That patience is a gift from the earth. We are allowing the breath to come in and allowing the breath to go out. We are relaxing. We have nothing to do. We have no place to go. We are relaxing. $65 million years ago, a huge meteor hit the Earth, and most of the life perished. $65 million years later, she is a beauty in the heavens. She is a luminescent blue in space. You allow the breath to come in. You allow it to go out. You are relaxing in your chair. You don't have to try. Mother Earth is breathing for you. When Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, it was heralded as a miracle when he took one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. The entire Earth's population celebrated this amazing feat. It was a miracle. And it is no less a miracle that you are alive and breathing and conscious on the earth. When you take a small step in a walking meditation, you can feel your sole of your foot press against the earth. And the living earth presses back. You walk on this living planet, a sentient being. It is a miracle. Mother Earth is breathing for you. The miracle of going to the moon is an amazing part of our lifetime. Yet the moon is virtually lifeless. It's a lifeless rock. the astronauts can look back to our glowing planet, the soft luminescent blue against the blackness of space, and know that it is a living planet. A spoonful of dirt of the earth has more microorganisms in it than people in New York City. It is teeming with life. And it is our sacred mission to treat our home planet, Mother Earth, with the respect, the sustainability that she deserves. The amazing thing about Thich Nhat Hanh's relaxed meditation, where Mother Earth is breathing for us, is that every minute spent in this meditation is a minute of healing. So overlay in your consciousness ways in which we can infuse compassion in our community. And welcome back.
Thank you, Bill. Here, let me give you a task.
I accept it.
It's been a long, dark night. I've been waiting for the morning. It's been a long, hard fight, but I can see a brand new day dawning. And I've been looking for the sunshine, 'cause I ain't seen it in so long. Everything's gonna work out just fine. Everything's gonna be alright. It's been all wrong. 'Cause I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Everything's gonna be alright. It's been a long, long time since I've known the taste of freedom and those clinging lines that had me bound. Well, I don't need them. Ooh, I've been like a captured eagle. You know, an eagle's born to fly. Now that I've won my freedom, like an eagle, I am eager for the sky. 'Cause I can see the light of a clear blue morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light of a clear blue morning. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. 'Cause I can see the light. I can see the light of the morning. I can see the light of a brand new day. I can see the light. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay.
We are a community of faith. And I have faith that everything's going to be all right, that it's going to be okay. Because the truth has an integrity that outlasts loud voices and ugliness always. And I thank you all for this bounty of green energy, minus, of course, my 10% handling fee. So we are all here today in the aftermath of some interesting times we live in. We as a nation, we as a people, we as a race have faced calamity before, and we have persevered. But I would like to take the microphone and give it to Pam, who will speak for all of us, and then we'll go home. And no pressure. I want to pass it. And all who don't wish to speak, pass it on. But I think it's good in community that we unburden ourselves of our fears, because when you take your fears and you put them outside of you, they become smaller. Inside, they could be the monster, but outside, you can see that you are the masters of our fate. So,
Okay, so no pressure. So yeah, a tough week. My partner and I watched Kamala with her concession speech, and she was She's such a strong woman, that I'm very sad that she will not be leading us as Madam President now anyway. But she was strong and she was saying, you know, we need to persevere. We need to, I don't know, fight on, doesn't seem, but anyway, fight on, whatever. And that was heartening to hear as much as it was very sad. I went for a massage at one of our members' houses this week, and she said something which has been my mantra for the last few days anyway, which is my strength lies within. And so I'm holding on to that right now. We, of course, as community, I'm here because of wanting to be with everyone here and be in community and feel safe and look to ways that we can move forward. And thank you both for your meditations. They were wonderful and inspiring and a good way to start this new week.
Thank you, Pam.
I was surprisingly unmoved by the events of the week. And what immediately came to me is that it's useless for us to fear and be angry. It doesn't have any purpose. And that what we need to do is send out love to everyone involved, the whole world, the earth, ourselves. And that's where the real power is. And that's all that's real.
Bravo. Thanks, Moose.
First of all, I'd like to make a nod to our guests. I don't know who you supported in the election, but if you can handle it, believe me, this is going to be about our side lost. So if you folks, you know, we send love to you. We understand, or at least I do, I understand a lot of the things that brought people to Donald Trump, but I couldn't understand Donald Trump himself. And I think that you could say that of our community. So if you would be, you know, offended by whatever you hear this morning about our feelings about losing the election, then, you know, don't feel like embarrassed to stand up and leave, but we'd like you to leave in peace. Okay? No, I just want to be sure that we're not giving offense. Okay, that's great.
I think Larry's just saying, sometimes we make assumptions in this church that everyone that comes here is on the same political side, and sometimes we do, you know, we don't mean to push people away. So we're not saying, I don't think you're saying you got any vibes from you, but anyway. Yeah. So that's all he means.
I'm being shut up over here. But I really, to tell you the truth, I appreciate today's celebration. I appreciate the meditations, and I need a lot of that. Not just a little. I'm going to have a meditation every 5 minutes. And when the early evening of the election, when they were beginning to give the returns, and it was back and forth and back, I could not even handle it emotionally because it was like being yanked around by my heart. And I went up and I went to bed, and I thought, I'll wake up in the morning and it'll all be over, and Kamala will be our president nominee, and it's going to be beautiful. I actually had a good night's sleep without all of being yanked around. So the next morning I get up, the sun's shining. I'm straight out of bed and I turn on the radio to find out who won the election. And within a minute, there's so much going on that it only took about a minute for somebody to say that Trump had won. And I just cried out in my pajamas in my bedroom, standing there, oh, F, I did. It was like being shot. So I don't know if I did myself a favor or not, because I got it all at once, and it was really tough. And I don't see, what I see is righteous anger. And I don't hold the anger toward the people who voted for him. I sympathize with those people. They have a good case, but they lose in one of the major arenas where this battle was fought. And that was between good and evil. And the person who won, who was their champion, was evil. He is an evil man. And I know that some of you don't think that anybody is evil, but I do. And this guy I really believe that if there is an Antichrist, this guy qualifies, because he has swept the country with his joyous message of hatred. He's loosened all of these devils, and he has raised them up, put them on the altar, and said, worship them. And that is what has happened. So I'm going to be filled up with anger for a while. And it's going to take a while for me to chip away at that. But I appreciate your efforts.
Thank you, Larry. And the main thing that I take away is that you wear pajamas.
I appreciate what, Dave, you've done this morning, and Bill, your storytelling. And I'm going to take away the two words, compassion and community.
Chairs. No, the other side. The other side, George. Because then I can bust down this round. Yeah, I want to know what outside. Yeah. I just, first of all, Bill, I loved your story. I sat there the whole story trying to figure out, so what is it that was inscribed? It will be inscribed in a ring. How will we get out of this? And it was wonderful. Just, and not at all fictitious or imaginary. I liked also the fact that you used Solomon and this as thing. What few people realize, especially among the evangelical Christians, is that Solomon ran a pluralistic kingdom that was religiously diverse and ethnically diverse. He built high places of worship to at least 3 different gods, including the God that's talked about. And all this is written in the Bible. They suggest he was cursed for it. I don't know. I think that his success had to do with his diversity. And just, anyway. And then as far as the Antichrist and all of that, Elaine Paget, I think, wrote a book on Revelations. And she explains a reason the book continues to exist is because it has so many archetypes that are so useful in understanding the politics and the political situation. And these are repeated over and over again. One example she uses is the second coming of Christ, or was it Christianity? Charlemagne brings Christianity back to Europe. The second coming has occurred at least once. We'll probably be back again. Anyway, just so my thoughts. As far as the election, It is what it is. We're disappointed by the outcome. Now let's pray that the people that supported Donald Trump are not disappointed, because I think they voted for him for a lot of the wrong reasons.
Oh, man. yeah.
And he certainly didn't deliver on the things that he promised this time around the last time. And he doesn't strike me as a man who learns from his mistakes because he never makes any.
Thank you, Ken.
I can't say much, but my grief for the loss of my wife sort of overshadows Donald Trump right now, as much as I hate him. And you talked about Elaine Plagans, and I was thinking in the Gnostic, I think St. Thomas, the Book of Thomas, which he says, the Gnostics say, do whatever you want, but never tell a lie, which is a profound way of living, owning it. And a good way of living in terms of liberating. I feel this community is wonderful. I'm not the kind of a person who is very social and join in things easily, but I hope you all the best. Okay, bye-bye.
May I ask your wife's name?
Danielle.
Danielle. Never shy from speaking her name. I lost my wife, Jessie, 24 years ago, and grief goes in a sine wave, and don't let anyone ever tell you, get over it. You will move on, but she's with you, is my faith, as
Thank you.
my Jessie is with me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ken, and everyone. Thank you for this morning's time with you. And I just want to say something I woke up with today more and more as I read the pundits and to the extent that I can stand it, and the editorials and the browbeating and the, we Democrats are so stupid, horrible, out of touch. She ran a beautiful campaign of love and high values, very high values that I think we all can embrace and be proud of.
Thank you.
Thank you both for the meditations. Our race's propensity to see other and to hate other when we're scared or distressed is one of our great weaknesses. And I come out of here with a little bit of help in diluting that image.
Thank you.
I was looking at all this and I said, it doesn't matter because we still have the people. The people are here. We're not dead. We are the source of this nation, the people. And having faith in the people is important. The other thing I want to mention, by the way, is God is not dead. God is still in charge. And one of the things I learned in A Course in Miracles, they talked about how you raise your consciousness. How spiritual are you? Well, the way you get there is by growing in faith, the measurement of your faith, your trust, rather. I want the word trust. When everything's going great, you don't have to trust anything. But when things look dark, that's when you go, nope, everything's going to be all right. God's in charge. I still feel abundant. I still feel good. This is one of the things that has really kept us together and strong, is really knowing, even in those dark times, I just said, God's still in charge. And faith, trust. When things aren't going well, this is the opportunity to grow in spirituality. This is a shot for all of us. This is the time for real growth in spirituality. Don't let things out there decide how much love and faith you have. Grow in love and faith and trust during these times more than ever. This is your shot.
Thank you, Kaylee.
I really can't say too much because I've learned some things, and not from these crazy, Alex Jones and all these maniacs. I've just watched C-SPAN. You know what C-SPAN is?
Yeah.
It's the live recordings of our Congress.
Clown college.
And,
Clown college.
Yeah, well, I am deeply disappointed by some of the performance and questioning and the way the attitude of some of the Democrats and their questioning. I'm astounded. And the media, I mean, the media's coverage, when they say, oh, Biden, I'm going to give you an example. But, no, it's not the time. Okay, it isn't really a time for politics. But what I do know, see, what I'm saying is I'm disappointed in the Democratic Party and the things that have been not clear. No, let me finish. See, see, even you. So have the tar and feather ready, because I'm ready for it. But what I do know is that I am deeply concerned about Donald Trump because he's like a child. And
But he has two powerful, good men with him.
yeah, and
I think are gonna help.
you may not know, but like one of the main statements by RFK Jr., Robert Kennedy Jr. I know I've seen some in the media. The media is not always correct or honest. And one of the main things was he said is that we cannot talk to each other. And he feels like I feel. He feels like he's a Democrat, but he's disappointed in some of the things that have happened that have been kept from our eyes because the media does not report everything. And on the other side of it, there's a lot of hatred. People are angry. They're angry for a reason. And one of those reasons is, inflation, of course, and other things. But I really think it's an opportunity for us to do what Bill was doing years ago before the pandemic, and that was reaching out, finding common ground, there's probably none of that anymore. Is there any of that anymore?
Yes.
I
Yes.
think it will become more evident as time goes on.
Yeah, I hope so, because it's needed. It's needed. It's desperately needed. We need to agree to disagree, but then also we need to come out. There's a reason why, unless the election was taken, like Donald Trump claims, which was not true, even the Supreme Court would not hear him, when he said the election was stolen. No, okay. But unless it was taken and stolen by Donald now this time and his people, I don't know, I haven't heard that, but there are people like who said here, a lot of people are unhappy. Freedom of speech, there's some things there. But anyway, so I'm not in a good crowd here to be talking about this. Yeah, so I'll let some other people talk. So but I would encourage that Bill, who has been great at this, find a way. We all have to find a way to communicate. To
Thanks,
talk to
Mike.
him. Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Robin.
Yeah, so I never turned on the TV to listen. I didn't want to go through that grinding. I figured it would be up and down. So I went to bed and slept well till about 4:40. Turned on the radio that I had in my room and heard the awful news. There's people from overseas talking about dynamics that will happen with possible dynamics with Donald Trump at the helm. And I went through quite a bit of emotion right away, kind of felt avalanched, about 5-10 minutes into my reaction. And I just stopped and took breaths and more breaths. And then I opened into a quieter kind of meditative place, and then dialogued with God. And just what I dialogued was, for the two groups I have in mind that I heard were going to be voting for him, I thought about what their sense of a good reason was to do that, and was able to go into kind of a deeper place about whatever they're unsettled about. I don't want to go into details, and just put them in a positive light and pray for them and be sorry for their sense of injustice. And injustice is actually done in one particular case. And then I started to pull myself out by just saying, so in your personal life, are you going to be stopped from loving your family? Not at all. Is Donald Trump more powerful than Thea, my 7-month-old grandchild? Not in the least. What about Aurora? In no way. No way is he more powerful than Aurora. And I just sort of kind of slowly rebuilt myself from there. But it's hard. It's going to be hard to turn on the media for 5 minutes when I'm driving home and hear the latest and then turn it off, which is what I did the last 4 years. And I was never failed to be disappointed by what was going on. But I just keep on switching it off and saying my prayers. And that's, for the best for everybody. That's my prayers.
Thank you, Rob.
I got up that morning, like Larry said, and I just looked at the phone and that was enough. And then as I got ready for work, I kind of went into like kind of a great sadness, like despair, even a depression. And I just went to work, and other people were feeling the same way. And the worst part is the young people. I never saw it affect young people. They were so sad. The 30-year-olds that had children, they were sad. And then, you know what she said to me? She said, I'm not going to let it stop me. She was very sad, but she said, I started decorating for Christmas for my little girl. And that brought the memory to me of the Grinch who stole Christmas. He took everything, and then they stood in a circle, held hands, and they sang from their hearts what really mattered, just what he just said. Yeah. So I guess we do have to remember, and what she said over there about God, and that we are, and it's true, what we do matters. We are cells of Mother Earth. So we must continue with our journey. So thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
I will not forget the night before. I was so proud of L'Oreal. She voted. We showed up at the polls at the same time, and she's in her own car. And at night, she's texting me, oh, it looks bad. And I said, no, in the morning, wait till the morning. So it's 6 a.m. on my door. Mom, and her voice, she didn't win. Show me, oh no. So I'm praying I'm kind of glad I'm not young, I have to be around for some of this. What I did that day, though, is self-care. And I had things I was doing, and I had a therapy session. I called my therapist. I don't think I can just do my regular work. And I went to Bucksmont, where they had open sanctuary, and on Zoom, and I said, I'm going to say what I am grateful for. I'm going to remember what I'm grateful for. And I went down the list. Then Bucksmont had a Vesper service, and guess what they did? Candle lighting. Light a candle for something you're grateful for. So that has kept me. I know there's a lot we're going to have to do, and there's a lot we're going to have to face, and we have a little time before January. But that's kept me from going into deep despair, and also staying in the present and not letting my mind go too far into all the possible scenarios, since we're still here where we are. The other thing that has helped me is listening to several spiritual people talking what this gentleman in the corner said. We're thinking of the people who voted the other way as the other, and that's part of our societies. And you said they do it from when you're afraid, you demonize the other. And I'm not, I think of the people when I was giving out sample ballots at the polls, and my town is more Republican, and they were greeting each other and how are your kids? And then I was with my neighbor, and my neighbor is really good at, he was chatting them up, and we all started having this convivial, normal life in the neighborhood conversation. And if I saw one of those people tomorrow, I don't know how I would, if I'd be ready to hug them, but I'm going to try to, we need to talk to those people. We need the base. You know, I think some of them just would always vote Republican, no matter who the candidate was. And especially younger people, we need to reach the people who are thinking that he's good and we're evil. And finally, Tara Brock has a program that I might post on the announcements, but the first part of it is a meditation on trees, and that when trees are in a big storm, they develop a stronger core wood, and it's called heartwood, and their roots communicate more with each other. So that's also a way to keep ourselves grounded. We will have a lot of work to do. We would have had a lot of work to do with the current, if, you know, the Democrats had won and war. There's a lot, you know, it's in some ways, it's all part of the same machine. So thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
So I just spent 3 intense weeks at one of the focal points of this struggle in Texas, trying to eliminate from office, trying to help retire, actually, what I would consider a person I would consider a mini Trump, and that would be Ted Cruz. And that didn't go so well. So what may be surprising, this is what I do for a living, what we're talking about. I'm right in the middle of a lot of this. So what may be surprising is I don't really have a lot to share right now, but stay tuned. I'll have plenty to say as things unfold.
Oh, thanks, David.
I don't really have much to say. Much like Larry, I woke up that morning and was shocked. And I thought the worst has happened. You know, the good part is my anxiety over who was going to win is over, because I no longer have to worry about that. But I also thought that the worst has happened, but I am still lucky to live in a country that's not being bombed. My daily life will probably not be that impacted. And I'm just not going to watch the news. And it's only really 2 years before things will change. And, you know, he doesn't get much accomplished. So, you know, maybe we'll just like slide through this.
Thank you, Lori.
I think she said it all. I'm going to pass it on. I also.
So I would like, I think, everybody to take these thoughts out with them. After a lot of reflection, I have chosen hope over despair, courage over fear, joy over sorrow, love over hate. And that is where my core, my mind, my heart, my soul are taking me.
I'll vote for that, Marianne.
Well said, girlfriend. I went to bed at 9 o'clock. I already knew what was happening. It was pretty evident, pretty early, I thought. And yeah, I'm sad. But
again, it's not going to change my life that much right now. We'll see how it does down the line. And I just send love to everybody.
Thank you, Nance.
Oh, bloody, life goes on.
All right, Michael.
Can I read a brief quote from Valerie Kaur and the Revolutionary Love Project? Just take a second. This is the practice that I'm hoping to maintain going forward. Joy is the core practice that sustains all others. To let in joy is to give our senses over to what is beautiful, delightful, pleasurable, or wondrous in the present moment. Joy is the gift of love. Joy returns us to everything good and beautiful and worth fighting for. It gives us energy for the long labor. We can't force joy, but we can make space for it to come. There are a million reasons not to feel joy right now. It is possible to be awake to what's happening in the world and to be joyful. Are we allowed to feel joy when so many others are suffering?
Yes.
History has taught us that some of the most courageous communities in the face of great turmoil still found time to sit, eat together, to laugh. They were practicing joy. Joy is our birthright. It is our greatest act of moral resistance. That's from Valerie Kaur and the Revolutionary Love Project.
Thank you, Danny. And I just want to say that it gives me great joy to see you and Joni here. Thank you.
Hi. So great to see everybody here too. Thank you. My feeling is that we still have a lot of work to do. We had work to do when the Democrats are in power. There's a lot of things wrong, regardless of who's in charge. And I also really see it as a long game. You know, I don't know. I feel, I mean, I have been out of my mind for months over the genocide in Palestine, and that was being run by Democrats. So there's so much work to be done, regardless of who's in charge. And it doesn't stop now. Yeah, this sucks. And it's been a really difficult week. And we've been in several different communities this week, trying to pull ourselves together and heal and be ready. But we have a lot of work to do. And as I said, the work goes on. And like Thich Nhat Hanh has said, the next Buddha will be community. So work in our communities and do the work that has to be done.
Thank you, Joni.
And I am so grateful that Pebble exists. And I always leave here with a much more positive attitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie.
Here. I find myself here, or we find ourselves here, when something terrible has happened and we don't have a way of bringing it back, bringing us back. We're bound in the seat where we're at is as if someone has tied us to that. And we've all come to Pebble Hill, which has been a wonderful thing. And it's happened a number of times that I have been coming here. Something terrible has happened. And what we do is we come here and we open up at least enough to start to our gathering here with everybody. And we start to reach out, we start to talk, we start to communicate. And I hope I'm very close to the end, only two more voices.
Three.
And what happens is we give ourselves freedom. We give ourselves the ability to breathe, to pull that air in. And we look around and we say, we are no longer bound. We're no longer separated from the rest of us. And we start thinking about the things that we should actually be thinking about. We should be doing our part in bringing back together that which is broke. And we come out with the feeling that yes, we have the ability, we have the strengths to start to heal whatever part that's nearest. And so I love this. I come to it here and I see all the faces, and I realize that it's not like that. We are big.
Thank you, Andy. Let's Barbara and Brian.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
And who? That way.
I have it. I have, that's fine. Just like that. Just leave it on the floor.
I swore that I wasn't going to get into the whole political stuff, but since the microphone's been around today, I guess I started coming to Pebble about 8 to 10 years ago. I've always felt like when it comes to a community of spiritual people, that some of the spiritual experiences I've had in my life and kind of my internal framework of how I think about things spiritual is very similar to you guys. However, I do realize I'm not on the same political spectrum as you guys. That being said, I'm neutral. I'm Switzerland. So that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to get into arguing or anything else.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian, for trusting us. I did, yeah, she did. Well. Oh, yes. Is there anyone on Zoom who would like to speak?
Yeah, I'll say a word.
Roz.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Roz.
I just wanted to say I'm really grateful that I didn't lead today, because what Dave and Bill did was so much more positive. I'm afraid I'm still not in a good place. And so at least the beginnings of this day were healing to me. And that's what Bill and Dave, you were trying to do. And I think that's what you did. And it is wonderful to see everybody here. So good to see David back from Texas, and to see Joni and Danny, and welcome our new friends, our visitors. I hope you'll come again. So thanks, everybody. See you next Sunday.
See you, Roz. See you, Roz.
I appreciate what Dave said about truth winning out in the end, but I'm more in line with what Larry was saying, and I'm in my anger phase of grief. This was a campaign built on lies, total lies from the beginning. It really started 4 years ago when the Republicans didn't convict him based on lies. And I'm angry at our justice system that didn't convict him way sooner than this. And I'm angry at the media for not calling him out every day on his lies, total lies. Not enough pushback by the media. I worked on the campaign the last 4 weeks. The Democrats were doing everything they could, but they were getting too many headwinds of lies that just weren't called out. And the interesting thing I found out, I looked at the exit polls and compared them to 2020. Not many people know this, but in 2020, people making over 100,000 voted for Trump. They didn't this time. People making less than 100,000 voted for the Democrats in 2020. They voted for Trump this time. It made no sense. They forgot what they learned from the last election because of the lies. And I just can't get over that.
Oh, thank you, Alan. Well, let's end this all on a positive note for the future with the song Beautiful City. And thank you all for contributing to community here today. All of us have gathered strength from each of us, and that's just beautiful.
A beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. So and girls and call it the city of love. Yes. We don't need road. Sweet God, our special master, take my word, heart by heart. Let me know, as my word may come. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. City of love. It's all much better. It's all like you. You can give slowly start to build. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Say yes.
Pardon? I think Ross from that version.
I had to make sure that. And Ken, he'd like to know if there's anything comparable to Pebble Hill in Jersey City, or New York City.
Because we're kind of unique.
I know.
We're small and intimate.
It's always been this way.
If I think of something, if I hear. I don't really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You really inspired me. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Hey, George. I don't know, they're broken. They're the ones that I got from, they're the best glasses. They're the non-dollar store glasses, but the thing came out up here. And it's kind of tricky. I'm gonna have to take it home and, you know, center myself and try to put it back in. It's pretty tricky. Are you good at this? Yeah. What I use when I'm driving, so I'm a police here, paid for by instruments. Patience.